to Murder the Internet with John and Rich.
Hello, I'm Rich, and that is John.
And this is our goal is to actually try to kill the internet from within the internet in a podcast. We were inspired to do this by listening, or at least I was, because Rich doesn't, by listening to podcasts and realizing how terrible they are.
And the internet in general.
And the internet in general, how bad it is for you. And we say that as people who ostensibly make our money off of the internet, but we want it dead.
Well, see, the thing is, we make our money off the internet, but we don't make a good amount of money.
We don't make enough money for
to live on.
Our children to not bitch about being hungry all the time.
Yeah, well,
we don't make non-starving children kind of money.
The things about kids, though, they'll bitch about something.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll find something. I don't have clothes. I'm naked in Walmart. Can I have clothes? No, you can't. I
can have Kleenex boxes.
I'm buying Steel Reserve. It's called Priorities. Look it up.
There you go.
And so the thing about the internet, I started this website, maybe you've heard of it, it's called CNN.com. Back in 1999, the whole purpose of it was to make fun of everything on the internet. And foolishly, every year, I thought that, okay, well, this is the worst the internet's going to get. It's going to get better from now on. It gets worse.
It gets worse.
Every year in ways that you could not conceivably ever predict.
Right.
And I may be going out on a limb here, but I'm going to guess the internet's going to keep on getting worse for a while.
We are not going to find the bottom of this. You know how people were predicting forever that rock is dead, and then it just kept coming back worse?
Yeah, and then rock kind of actually died a little bit, and then it was replaced by the vocoder hip-hop
synthesizer shit.
I am in the cloud. It sounds like a robot shitting vocals.
Am I the only one who's sick and tired of hearing supposed alternative music that's synthesizers and a guy whistling? It's like half of the alternative music I hear now.
I only listen to music that 6 other people.
You know what I think it is? I think it's somebody who was like, look.
Can you sing it for me? I kind of like that, though. No,
I think what it was is there was a guy who's like, hey, I'm friends with you. You guys have a band. I don't have any money. And they're like, oh, yeah, but you can be in our band. And he's like, but I don't have an instrument. And they're like, well, can you sing? No. Can you whistle? Fuck, yes, I can whistle.
Do you need I was going to say, do you need a whistle to be in a band? Do you need an instrument to be in a band?
Apparently not.
You have auto-tune.
Do you have lips?
You can take a turkey drumstick, bang it against a trash can. You use auto-tune. It sounds like a saxophone.
Okay.
That's how technology works. And that's also why I hate the internet. I don't know how if we're actually getting back to that. But
one thing I hate about the internet is podcasts.
Yeah. I haven't listened to a podcast.
I'm
probably going to have to listen to this one when I edit it.
I feel sorry for you. Because this is not even a good podcast by podcast standards.
Well, but I don't know what makes a good podcast. My wife listens to podcasts, and it's just like, there's these people in the woods that have disappeared, and the disappearances of the woods have been happening since 1974. Blah, blah, blah.
Are you sure that's a podcast and not Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack?
It's like a really boring version of NPR, if you can somehow imagine that.
All right, so
and she's like, you got to listen to this. It's 9 hours long.
So then
I'm like, I don't have 9 hours left in my life.
There's different kind of podcasts you could do. Like first, we could do this. You could do the Hey, what did you do this week podcast, which is,
but that's,
hey,
okay,
what'd you do this
go
week?
for it.
What'd you do this week?
Nothing. What did you do?
I did not do anything.
Okay, we did the podcast.
There you go. That's the whole show.
The one that I do know of, no, there's 2 of them, because one of the guys came from Something Awful that I hired to write, and like everybody, once they leave Something Awful, they become successful. The Night Vale guy. And I think those are just like creepy stories or something. Welcome to Night Vale.
Pasta, but a podcast.
Something
podcast.
like. And then he went to the barn expecting to see a horse, but the hay was alive.
So that's another example of a podcast.
I've never listened to it. I'm just guessing. It's a hay-centric podcast.
Well, there's also the
Chapo Trap House guys.
The political podcast.
Yeah, they came from Something Awful again, and now are successful.
Let's do that right now. Trump is an asshole, and liberals. Okay, you guys just don't get it because Democrats are selling you out.
No. I don't think they're like that.
I that's exactly what they're like.
They are?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't listened to it.
Show.
I thought they because all I've heard that they're the dirtbag left. I don't know what that means. I think that they probably don't shower. Which,
I think they don't believe in water or using water because of the drought in California from 3 years ago.
Oh. Well, I thought that they were the people that kind of turned on the people who weren't left enough for them.
That's exactly what they are. Right. Democrats, you guys don't realize they've got you by the throat and they're raping your mouth and then they're going to poke out your eyes. If you're a liberal, you cannot be a Democrat, so you can't vote for anybody and then get mad when Republicans keep winning.
They want to inseminate your nose. Do you want children coming out? I don't know where I'm going with that.
So there's the political podcast.
Yeah, that's a political podcast. Jacking up your nose.
There you go.
Well, what else is there? Oh, and then there's the true facts ones.
The true fact. Oh,
yeah, true facts. Just like oh
trivia.
no. My wife played one where it's just people who call up and they've got stories. They're just like, oh yeah, I was homeless and I was eating trash for 9 years, and then I learned about Jesus and I got these superpowers that allow me to transform myself into electricity and go through the power lines, much like Mitch Pileggi. Shocker.
That's a much better version of that show than what you're describing.
And then the guy's like, oh,
somebody
really?
called up and just said that they were the main character from Shocker. That'd be a much better show than, yeah, so I was a garbage man for 3 years, and then I got tetanus because I refused to get the vaccine, and so now I don't have a left arm.
And I don't know who the host is. I'm going on this completely by memory, but he's just like, wow, man, that is a trippy... That's a trippy story, man. We got to take a break here, but when we come back, wow, I can't imagine where you're going to be going with this.
Yeah.
Does this sound like him, or am I?
That's exactly. It's Chris Gethard, I think is his name, who does that. That podcast is called Beautiful Anonymous. Yeah. This is where we just shit on everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody's awful.
Yeah, and
including us. I'm not saying that we're better.
Well, but that's the thing. Since we're not better, and since nobody listens to us, they won't take the time out of their podcast to shit on us.
Right.
So we're kind of like above them all.
I hope that they do, because those people actually get listeners, and then they bitch about us, and then people are like, wait, what did they say? So then they listen to us.
Oh, wait. I just remembered. I was on the Dick Show.
Oh, yeah.
He's, I don't know.
Let me tell you about women. All right, any woman out there is looking to just stomp on your balls and shit in your face.
He's a nice guy. I gotta give it to him. I don't agree with the things that he says and believes in and things like that, but he's a nice guy, and I'm just not saying that because he put me on the show. But
he hates women.
Again, one of my writers is on there, Stereos.
But he also hates women.
Well, so do I.
Yeah, who doesn't? So there's,
I hate men too, so it balances out.
Yeah, I mean, but the way I figure you have to be, you have to be ecumenical about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that word means.
That means you need to embrace all religions, so it didn't really make any sense. If you believe in the religion of female or the religion of male. Yeah.
I was raised Catholic. That just believes in the idea that Jesus is always watching you jack off, so you shouldn't.
Oh. See, I got that backwards. I was raised Catholic, but I always believe that Jesus is watching, so every once in a while, I'll just give him a high five.
Well, wouldn't the opposite
be... Hey, Jesus, you watching this?
No. The opposite would be Jesus is always jacking off.
Yeah, he's watching me jack off, and that gets him off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
of course, he can do it right through his hand.
Well, where's the semen?
He just puts that on there.
That's how that bitch Mary got knocked up. Mm-hmm. Because Jesus was just up, and wait, he wasn't dead yet, though, was he?
When he knocked Mary up?
Yeah. Was Mary knocked up by a corpse?
No. Are you talking about his mom or the whore?
The whore.
She was knocked up?
Yeah, that's how Jesus came out. So he couldn't have been alive.
No, you're talking about his mom then, not...
Mary gave birth to Jesus, right. So he wasn't alive at the time. Yes. He was jacking off inside of her to impregnate her with his own semen. See, we figured out the Bible.
This is another version of a podcast. You can get the religious podcast.
Okay.
Where they debate theocratical type of things like that. So there you go.
I believe religion, some of them are good, some of them not so good. What's your opinion?
All of them are good, except for the ones that are bad.
What about the L. Ron Hubbard one?
That one is especially okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a lot of money, it's great. If you don't have a lot of money, it kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. So,
but you can't buy the books.
I don't want to dismiss that one in the hopes that one day I'll have money and then it'll be really fun to be in that religion. Then I can have the sea slaves.
Well, it's called Sea Orgy. Mm-hmm. Orgy.
Sea Orgy?
Sea Orgy. I don't want to rain your parade, but the chance of us actually getting good money from this are slim to none.
Well...
Okay, so what other podcasts are there?
Okay, so there's other kind of podcasts out there.
Like tech podcast.
Yeah, sure. There's podcasts.
Let's talk about that.
Have you seen
technology? Yes, I have.
Technology.
I've seen all the technology.
Have you seen it? There you go. That's a podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Video games.
Video games.
Let's talk about video games.
All right. So have you tried this new video game?
No. Can you describe it to me?
Okay. So you're this guy and you're.
I'm with you so far.
You wake up and you have a flashlight and then there's a note and then you wander around looking for things that are described in the note, and that's the game.
Yeah, that's
like
Pac-Man.
all the games now.
That's Pac-Man, and it's very good. Mm-hmm. There's many spin-offs of Pac-Mans. Perhaps you've heard of them. Space Invaders.
Space Invaders?
No, Space Invaders. Space Invaders was a bad TV movie, actually. Mm-hmm. But there's Pac-Man. Mm-hmm. Miss Pac-Man, the artist formerly known as Miss Pac-Man. Pac-Man Jr., who eats a tricycle, may I add. Did you ever play
Why would
Pac-Man?
a child eat a tricycle unless there are children and they're starving because we don't make any money?
Why would you play a game with a naked child eating spheres? That's my question.
I don't know, because it's Saturday.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But no, Pac-Man Jr., he would eat pellets and then shit marbles. and he would have to eat the marbles that he shat. You never played
as a
Pac-Man
punishment?
Jr.?
I never did. I didn't
Okay, yeah,
I didn't know it
and
existed.
you know how in Pac-Man not power-ups, but the bonuses would be fruit, fruit such as strawberries, grapes, bananas. You're familiar with the concept of fruit, right? Okay, well, the fruit, he would eat fruit.
Yeah.
In Ms. Pac-Man, the same thing, except later on she would eat shit like the Galaga icon or something. But in Pac-Man Jr., he would eat a tricycle. And it would not only be, just a tricycle sitting there, it would actually move away from him. So there's somebody's ghost riding the trike.
Uh-huh.
So to speak, because there's ghosts.
Because there's ghosts in the game.
Okay, yeah, but the tricycle would be actively avoiding
The
Pac-Man
ghosts.
Jr.
Oh.
And Pac-Man Jr.
What were they feeling on the ghosts? I mean, how did the
The
tricycle
ghosts
react
were
to
doing their
ghosts?
own thing.
So the tricycle
The
just go through
ghosts
the ghosts.
gave no fuck about the tricycle.
So unlike the little kid in The Shining, who would get on the tricycle or the big wheels and be terrified of ghosts, this tricycle would just go, fuck ghosts, I don't care.
Well, much
like
like
this
The
tricycle.
Shining, the child shit marbles and would have to eat them. So if you ate the tricycle
It's a
that was
cutscene, by the
actively
way.
trying to escape you,
Yeah.
you would get bonus points and you would have to eat your own shit afterwards. That would slow you down.
That's on the blooper reel for The Shining, is when he keeps shitting pellets. And then
Stanley
eating them.
Kubrick presents child eating its own shit. Yes.
Which, it's an artistic achievement. 'Cause
And
Kubrick
in
did it.
Japan, fun fact, known as Doki Doki Panic.
Okay, so that's an example of a gaming podcast that you could do. There's also improv podcasts where you pretend to be somebody else. Like, hey, my name is John with an H.
Is that me?
No, that's me. I'm John with an H.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
you
my name is
really
spelled
look like-
normally, and I don't have to constantly correct people on how to spell my name.
Here,
It's great.
I'll do
That's
some.
my character that
I'm
I'm
going to
playing
do a
right now.
character.
Okay.
Hi, I'm successful and people like me.
That
That's
is
all I
quite
got.
a character that you.
That-
would be
that's all
playing.
I can
Yeah, that's
do,
as far as
really.
you go with it.
So we got
wait, hold on.
improv.
I got hold on.
Oh God, it's the narcs.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm the guy who knocks on doors.
that's my desk though.
That was it.
Wait, so my desk was doing improv then?
Your
As a door?
desk is well. When you're doing improv, the whole room is a character.
Where's our money? Have we gotten money for this so far? Hold on. We're 13 minutes into this. How much money have we gotten?
We have to have made
Oh wait,
at
can
least
we?
$5 off of it.
Yeah, can we? How do we make money from a podcast?
Well, there's one way you can do with ads. Where you do addition and people pay you for just solving addition problems for them.
Can I do an ad right? Well, you can do the addition. I'm going to do an ad right now.
You can do an endorsement. That's what that's called.
Endorsement.
So what are you
Sorry.
endorsing?
Okay. I'm drinking a beverage here called Rockstar Recovery. Before I drank it, I felt like shit. I was dying. I had AIDS. I had cancer. I had leukemia. The whole 9 yards. Now I drank that. I have a little bit more energy and all the diseases I had before, but boy, it was a steal of a deal. Rockstar Recovery. Go get one now. Rockstar. The drink that says Rockstar Recovery. How's that?
That was good. Let me try one.
Okay. Don't do it for Rockstar because I just did that.
No, I won't. Hi, this is Jonathan Weir for
Flour.
Biotic medicine that you take for your tummy. If you are just shitting...
No. Be Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hi, I'm Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis!
For Biotic medicine for your tummy. If you are just shitting razor blades all the time, this is something that you can eat instead of razor blades. So you stop shitting razor blades. You take these pills instead of eating razor blades, and there you go, probiotic. Where's our money? Have we gotten paid yet?
I'm looking at the screen, and it says 15 minutes, but it doesn't have a money counter.
All right. Another way is through websites like Patreon, where we ask people to hey,
I got one. No one contributes to
Hey,
that.
we've done okay. We've met our goal.
No, the goal was several $1 million. We're not even near that.
We met our monthly goal, though.
Like I said, it was $7 million for us to play shit games.
For Patreon, you just ask people to, hey, give us money and we'll keep doing this thing or not.
Yeah, and we can do, and we say, subscribers get access to secret bonus episodes, where it's just the outtakes, where it's just saying, so what do you want to talk about today? Oh, fuck, I don't know, I'm tired.
There's
do you
a
want
guy-
to do one today? No.
There's this douche fucking guy named Clyde Lewis who's got a show on after my radio show who is trying to get people to go on his page, and he's probably doing well because he's syndicated, so he probably knows what he's doing, and I don't. But he's got a Patreon, and you can download intros to his show.
Oh.
Because he makes these various audio tapestries, he calls them, and they're just these garbage
Wait. He actually refers to them as audio tapestries.
He has, yes, yeah. Yeah. And it's just a
Wow.
bunch of sound clips meshed together. And he's like, people really want these to download. So if you want to go to Patreon for like $1, you can download an audio tapestry. So
Here's me with 17 different VSTs making my voice sound like this.
literally, if he just wove a bunch of audio tape together, I'd be more likely to buy that than one of his shitty audio tapestries.
Because then you can hang it on the wall, and it'd be like
it would actually be useful.
Yeah, because it would keep the sound from reverberating in here. So what we're looking for here is about what would you say, 70 grand a month?
At least. And I think it's worth that.
Because
I've
drugs
listened to other
have gone up
podcasts.
in price.
Just the drugs I'm into.
Yeah, well, and like the Dick Show. I mean, he's great. It's a
He's
good
such a
show
great guy.
and everything.
I mean, I've never been on the show, so I don't know if he's great, but you have, and you say he's good.
He's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Don't agree with all of his views, but that's okay.
Specifically the one where he thinks that women should be crucified.
Yeah, well,
That's one.
that's not one of them.
No,
but
not-
he makes, and I looked on the Patreon page, $3.5 billion a month.
A month.
A month. Yeah.
And so we should be able
And
to
it's
make...
still going up.
We should be able to make like a third of that.
We should be, a third would
1.1.
be $3.5 a month, right?
Right, sure.
I'm not good with math.
I'm not
good with speaking either.
I'm not good with your math either.
I'm not good with thinking. Overrated.
So...
My friend Bob Mackey, he does Talking Simpsons. He's making some like $6 grand a month talking about Simpsons episodes.
current ones?
No, he will not go past season 10.
Okay, well, good for him.
So he's like, but he actually does work. He actually like researches them and writes things. And
this is a podcast? Because I don't think he knows...
it's called Talking Simpsons.
That's not what a podcast is supposed to be. You're not supposed to put any effort into it.
Well,
that's
Bob,
the other thing about podcasts.
He's one of my writers. He's a really good guy, and he actually puts effort into things and actually has some sense of pride. So,
that's his problem.
yeah, that's
So he's
what
only
I'm
making
lacking.
$6 grand, and Dick is making $3 billion.
3.5.
Yeah, so I think that's the problem.
Okay, well, I have no sense of shame.
Me either.
I don't believe in doing research or thinking about things before I say words.
I used to, and then I tried doing a podcast,
Overrated.
and I realized, wait, no, my shame is holding me back.
Sports.
Sports. Oh, it's another kind of podcast we can do. Sports.
Okay.
So, did you see the big game last night? Holy fuck! Did you see what that Peloponnesian guy did?
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Yeah. I tell you, those guys from that area of the world, they are going to be the next big players in the sport.
I'll tell you what I'm into, sabermetrics.
Sabermetrics?
X7VBR. Carlos Santana has the greatest. He went from 7932 to 7933. Which is the leading defensive matrix against opposing players in a ballpark where the temperature is over 78 degrees and the wind current goes from the northwest at 6 miles an hour, and he's wearing sunglasses and underwear that fits him not quite right, a little bit too snug.
See, but to do a proper sports podcast, you have to be a lot more angry about the things that you just said.
Oh.
Like, it has to be the most important goddamn thing in the world. Like, it has to be like this. Look, you can sit there and pretend that Miguel Cabrera's average on Sundays when the wind is coming out of the east is lower because he's terrified of goblins rising from the east, but everybody knows that the real problem is he's seen the Wizard of the Oz too many times.
The Wizard of the Odds, and the odds of him winning this game, very low.
Oh, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm Skip Bayless, and I've got centipedes in my underpants.
That's another podcast you can do.
Did we do politics? I already forgot.
Yeah, we did. We
Okay, because I was going to do it with Mark Levin.
Okay, let's do. Well, he's not a podcaster. He's a radio broadcaster.
He's not even that.
He's not. Okay. But you want to do Mark Levin?
Yeah, because that's the only impersonation I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear Mark Levin.
Now, the liberals will tell you. The liberals will tell you things that you want to hear. But the thing is, they do not follow through. You Americans need to wake up from your slumber.
I can do a really good Rush Limbaugh. You want to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's all I can do. My friends. There. I got that out.
That was good.
That's good. That's good.
I don't think we tackled politics in either of our impersonations, but
Well,
when
I go, what I'm trying to shake out of my head is any rational thought.
well, when you shook your head, all I saw was white flakes coming off. So is that the same?
That's another thing. If you're a podcast, you have to have incredibly bad hygiene.
Oh well, I've got parasites. Does that count?
Well, don't we all have parasites?
I've got more parasites than normal.
Oh,
that was actually my nickname in high school. Significantly more parasites than normal. That is what they would call me. Actually, that was just an insult. It wasn't really a nickname.
That is a shitty nickname.
I went to an all-boys Jesuit school. You can't get
there comes more parasites than normal, walking down the hallway with his feet.
We got to think of a better, quicker, easier name to say than that.
And they never did.
Let's just call him fucker.
There's also podcasts where they like do scripts, like table reads and stuff, which is pretty fun. Those are fun. So you could do like...
Okay, hold on. I got something on the table read here.
Okay.
Form 433B, collection information statement for business. Note, complete all entry spaces with the current data available or NA. Failure to complete all entry spaces may result in rejection of your request or significant delay in account resolution. Yeah, that's basically it. These are my tax forms.
Oh, your tax forms. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do that one?
Yeah, you do 433B.
No, I've got 433A.
Hold on. Oh, you've got A?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do 433B.
Okay, just hand it off.
And you do A, and then Section 1 business information.
Man, I am gassy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hold on, let me... I'm just trying to get...
Come on, you're flubbing your lines.
I'm trying to get into the character.
You're flubbing it.
Complete... Fuck. All right, let me try that again. I can do this. Hold on. Complete all entry spaces with the current data available.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, me either.
Sell it to me.
Okay. Should I? Okay. Do you want me to? I mean, I can make a choice here. Do you want me to? Do you want me to be sad?
Go with your heart. Go with your heart.
Okay.
Your big, very, very big,
veiny heart.
Large, fat,
clogged,
fat heart.
Okay. All right.
Very
Complete
fat.
all entry spaces with the
Let's go to the next podcast.
All right.
We're not doing scripts.
I like table reads. Those are fun.
Okay, well then read this table.
You know what? This table is very stoic. It's hard to read this table.
Nah.
Yeah.
I got it for $10.
Then there's other crime podcasts.
Crime
Crime
so we have
podcasts
to commit crime?
where no, they like talk about crime. They like
Ooh,
a
I
crime
can
that
do that.
happened, like Serial. That's one.
Okay. I got one for you. What is the perfect crime? The perfect crime.
I guess prostitution.
No.
Well,
No.
What?
No,
Because
it's not
everybody's happy.
That's not the perfect crime. You can still get arrested for it. I'm talking about the perfect crime that you can get away with.
I thought like your perfect crime was a crime that no one should legitimately be upset about. But you're saying a perfect crime is one that you get away with.
That is typically what people think.
The perfect crime would be that time my dad, this guy owed him money, and so my dad grabbed him by the throat and just kept shoving ice cubes down his throat until he choked to death on him, and then they all melted. So then when the cops came, they just found this guy lying in a puddle of water, and nobody knew my dad had done it.
That's a good-ish crime, except that he could be caught shoving the ice cubes down. Here's my idea for the perfect crime, okay? What you do is you wait for some rich motherfucker. You can tell if they're rich if they have a lot of, shiny things such as a car, a house that, has more than one door to it or something like that. And you monitor him for at least several decades to see, what his patterns are, like when he goes. And then when he goes out of town, doing his business, getting money through business, rich people shit.
Yeah, flying on planes.
Yeah, flying on a plane.
Wiping their ass with money.
In a different location. You wait, and then his dog's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like watching his dog, or his dog's just there. Or he could just go to work for a long time doing work shit. And then what you do is you train his dog improperly. Okay, you just sneak into his house, and then you teach the dog that whenever somebody says sit, the dog attacks.
Oh.
And then he can't do anything because his dog is at your mercy during day hours. And you send him a note saying, hey, hold on, I gotta get this voice. Hey, I noticed something's a little bit askew with your dog's personality. If you'd like him back to normal, maybe pay me $300 and he won't go for your jugular every time you tell him to sit.
And then I pay you $300 and my dog.
And then I train your dog the right way, and then I go to the next rich person.
That's actually pretty brilliant because rich people are all constantly being murdered by dogs, and no one would suspect that anything was up with that. I mean, like Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. Few people know this, but it wasn't OJ. It wasn't some other murderer. It was dogs.
And even fewer people know this. They were both dogs themselves.
They were. It's true.
That's why it's called dog on dog crime.
Which is why OJ got away with it, even though he obviously did it, because you can't go to jail for murdering dogs.
Well, no, especially if it's with ice. Yeah. If you stuff a bunch of ice cubes in a dog's throat,
right?
Yeah, and they're just gonna be like, that dumb dog, he drank a lot of water. What a fucking idiot. He got what was coming to him. No, he was murdered.
You know what I found is that nobody feels sorry for dogs when they die.
But my wife does. She gets all cheated.
Yeah, your wife is the only person. But have you thought that maybe your wife is a dog?
You just call my wife a dog?
No, I'm just saying, have you thought about it?
You just called her a dog.
No, I'm saying, have you thought about that?
No, why would I? It's stupid.
I don't know.
I think of plenty of stupid things, but not that my wife might possibly be a canine.
Your whole theory that Nicole Simpson was a dog.
Here's my theory. Horses are large dogs.
In horse suits, or they're just large dogs?
They're just large dogs.
So like they're not pretending to be horses. They're dogs.
No, and they got the name horses because farmers are dumb as shit. And they're just like, oh, well, this can't possibly be a dog. It's too big, and its neck is different, its head's different, it looks different. No, they're dogs.
Another podcast, conspiracy theories.
Do they have a special kind of podcast just for anti-farmers? Because I could talk forever about how much I hate farmers.
I think that might be our niche. There we go.
Okay.
That's our niche, is fuck farmers.
Yeah.
You subsidy grubbing, goddamn corn husking, goddamn, what have you done for me lately? Western Kansas, our budget, bleh.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've said this before, and I say it again, but farmers are worthless. Farms are so fucking dumb. Because what do farms... Let me ask you. You've seen a farm before, haven't you?
Yeah, like twice.
Yeah, it is dumb every time.
Every time.
What did you see at the farm? Besides farmers.
Saw a bunch of, rows of corn.
Lame.
Wheat.
Lame.
There was a house in the distance.
Yeah.
There was...
shit growing out of the ground, right?
Just literal shit growing out of the ground. Like I don't know what he was making there, but it was literally turds just shooting up out of the ground.
That was the farmer.
Explosions of shit.
That was the farmer's family.
His family was exploding shit turds?
Yes, farmers are nature's exploding shit.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so here's my question, my follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all that shit at the store, can't you? Corn, for example.
Yeah.
You can get it at the store. So what is the fucking point of a farm?
Great point. Why do they need so much money? Why do they need these tractors? Why do they need these cows and all these other things as beasts of burden to their labor for them? If you're right, why do you need a cow at a dairy farm when I can just go to the store and buy milk?
Exactly.
Great point. Great point.
I want to drink something and I want to eat food. I'm going to go travel 45 minutes to go to a dirt farm and pick it up there and get diseases and tapeworms and shit rather than going to fucking grocery store and getting it for $3.
It's so fucking stupid. You're
stupid
right.
assholes.
You're right. Yeah.
And then farmers are just, there's so many like yokels, bumpkins.
They always wear straw hats and they're always chewing on something.
And they're slow as shit.
Yeah.
You ever see a farmer in a grocery store? It takes them 45 minutes just to walk through the front door, and then they got to pay with check like the Big Lebowski for creamer.
Yeah, and they're stuck in perpetual slow motion too. It's not like they just can't make up their minds. They are literally moving like turtles sucking.
And they talk about the dumbest shit. They'll like just go to somebody and they'll like, "Can I help you?" Well, yeah, my sorghum's been growing real slow and it's getting really hot out and my back isn't how it used. And he's like, just get to the fucking point. Do you want to know where the trident is? It's the next aisle over. I hate you, farmer. And they can't grow trident on farms, by the way.
Not anymore.
No,
not since the regulations got passed by big government.
Bob Dole.
Bob,
am I yet?
Bob, big government Dole.
Bob, am I dead yet? Dole.
Is he dead?
I don't know. You have to ask him. No, he's not dead.
No, he was alive. Yeah, he was at least alive during the last election.
I don't know
because there were these awful commercials that were like, "I'm Bob Dole." It was literally like that. I'm Bob Dole, and Donald Trump would be good for this country. I'm melting into myself, Bob Dole.
I fertilize the ground I walk on inadvertently. I'm Bob Dole. So, the Anti-Farm podcast, we got that.
Yeah, and then there's a conspiracy theory podcast.
What about, let's do that.
Okay, so that's where you just, you say things like, hey, I think that the moon landing actually happened. Like, that's a conspiracy theory.
Wait, the conspiracy is that it did happen?
Hear me out. I think the government took a ton of money. They got a bunch of researchers and scientists together down in Florida. And then get this, they started putting monkeys and dogs into these giant rockets and shooting up into space, right? And a lot of those monkeys and dogs didn't come back. And then they went, well, it worked out so well with the monkeys and dogs, we'll put a man in one of these rockets and shoot him up into space. And that man went around the Earth, which is weird because the Earth is flat. He went around the Earth a couple of times, then came back perfectly safe and sound. That's what they don't want you to know. And then they shot some guys up to the moon in a rocket, and they came back perfectly safe and sound. The government doesn't want you to know about that because the government wants you to think that they're not good at things like this.
Yeah, exactly. I know for a fact that in 1976, the Russians successfully put a man on the sun.
On the sun? Yeah.
On the sun.
Yeah.
Collecting all the sun juice which is why now they have such a good hacking team.
That's why they're so amazing.
Their computers run on sun juice.
That's why if you ever see Vladimir Putin taking a shit, and
God, I wish I did.
Oh, you didn't find that anywhere. Just look online anywhere. Vladimir Putin taking a shit. Sunbeams
Vladimir
just
Putin.
bursting. And his ass is covered in melanomas. Just
Really?
covered in. It's disgusting. They're
I
pulsating.
take melanoma to help me sleep at night.
No, it's melatonin.
Oh.
Yeah. But just thick pulsating melanomas on his ass. Every time he sits down, these melanomas. But they don't kill him because he's so full of sunshine and vitamin D that fights the cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of thick pulsating melatonin, melanomas,
Yep.
I'd like to do a shout-out commercial for our sponsor, V's Italian Food, best ravioli this side of Kansas City. If you're looking for pockets
Which side
full
of Kansas City are we on?
whichever, same side of the Pecos. If you're looking for pockets of gooey cheese and rancid beef, V's Italian Food.
Is this a real place and you're just...
No, V's is real.
Okay, and you're just taking a shit on this restaurant.
I really doubt they're going to advertise.
Well, I wouldn't want them to.
Yeah.
Fuck V's.
Yeah, fuck V's and their
Fuck
ass
V's right
ravioli.
there. Yeah, your shitty ravioli. Go somewhere else for your ravioli than V's.
Either they or Garozzo's. They have this commercial like, "Hi, my name is Bobby Garozzo. I'm the owner of Garozzo's for 57 years. Come on in for an authentic Italian dining experience. Frank Sinatra plays all the fucking time. The servers hate it. They go through one day before killing themselves. Also, our food is shit. You'll wake up with a dog head in your bed. Garozzo's." See what I did there with the dog head in the
Wait,
bed?
who
These
was
dogs
that?
are horses.
It's Louis Armstrong doing a restaurant?
This is Garozzo's, the guy from
Garozzo's.
Garozzo's.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
V's.
Locally, actually,
if
my
he's
favorite,
confused.
and he just died, was Dick Hawk. The guy, Gaslight Grill, which is actually a good
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
But
And he'd
Dick
be like-
Hawk, he sounded like Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
You come
And
down
Bing
to
Crosby.
Gaslight Grill. We have live bands playing on stage every day.
But yeah, the closer he got to dying, the more muffled his voice got. It was just like,
That's true.
We
got Dick's body back, and oh God, I just
come on down before I die.
Dick's body back, and I just shit blood last night.
that would be the best ad. Come on in before I die. And every week he's like,
Well, getting closer to death. Notice you haven't come in yet. Might be your last chance. I know it's mine.
And by the way, these are examples of our favorite types of podcasts. The podcast where they just make fun of local commercials
Yeah, that no one can
nobody
relate to.
listening to us has any idea
No.
what they are.
but you
Those
don't
are
need
good.
context for this
No,
because they
it's
just
pretty great.
know that we're making fun of a dead man. And that's all that's important.
What's funny is Dick Hawk's son, whose name is, by the way, Mike Hawk. I'm not making that up. His name is Mike Hawk.
Ah.
He now does the commercials. And the first one he did, he was like, hey, come on down to Gaslight Grill. It's a pretty great place. We got jazz music and all that stuff. And then, like, somebody must have said something to him. Because then the next one, he's like,
Come on down to Gaslight Grill.
because he got, you know, in the back of his head, he's
No,
like,
no.
I
You
sound
know-
like my retarded father. Why?
You know what I said to him? It was his doctor. He told him he has cancer. The next one's going to be even more muffled.
The steak's really good. Got maybe 2 days left of my life.
I still love the idea of, come down here maybe before I die. That's actually a great way to promote a podcast, by
Might
the way.
even be dead now. Nope, feeling my wrists. I'm here.
Listen to this podcast while you can, because our imminent death is very much so.
There we go. Yeah. So we
We're
can
gonna
sell
die
this
any day now.
podcast. Well, I mean, every day you live, you're just closer to the inevitable,
Yeah.
which is doing another podcast and then dying.
I'd rather die most times.
Oh, don't do it like that because now people aren't going to listen if they think that you're not enjoying this.
No, I'm negging it.
Oh,
Which makes the podcast, more eager to be sold to the listener.
speaking of nagging, we could do the what is it? Not ladder theory. Men's rights
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Have you seen this Red Pill movie?
Oh gosh, it was so well done.
I mean, the funny thing about that movie is that woman started off as a feminist.
Yeah,
a
you could
feminazi,
tell.
a self-described feminazi.
Yeah.
Who no woman would ever describe themselves as a feminazi, but she
No.
was a self-described feminazi, and then she made this movie where she talked to men and realized, wait a minute, in this country, men don't have any rights anymore.
well, let me ask you this:
They're just sperm slaves.
when was the last time a woman held the door for you?
Well, you held the door for me earlier today, am I right? That's another example of a podcast you could do.
Yeah,
where,
you're right.
Where you just the type of comedy podcast.
I don't approve of comedy. It just makes me upset.
hilarious observations.
But yeah, but I mean, with men, okay,
Yeah.
the thing about men is, okay, we're expected to make money to support ourselves, right? And the women, they're just at home looking at their fingernails, talking to
so
Betty
disgusting.
and whatnot. And the thing is,
I'm sick of Betty.
why can't I get a date? Because I'm a nice guy, I'll tell you that. But all women are vapid, ugly, stupid, cunt, whores, and I'm a nice guy. Why can't I get a date?
Right. And you are an incredibly nice guy. Every time I see you strike out with a woman, you get in her face and be like, look, you fucking cunt. I'm a nice guy. I swear to fucking Christ, I will poke out your eyeballs.
I don't even punch them that hard.
No.
And that's the thing about it. Do
Rarely
they
do
ever
I see
thank
you
me?
put your weight behind those punches, my friend.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of weight to put behind that punch.
Oh, my God. Way too much.
And the women never thank me. They never say, oh, thank you for only giving me one black eye instead of two. They don't say that.
Never.
They just, police, and then I got to run from the police. And it's just, and then they put me in jail because I'm a man. If I was a woman, they wouldn't put me in jail.
No.
Would they?
Yeah,
so it is completely not fair. Also, I'd like to tell you about another thing called Nootropics.
What's Nootropics, my friend?
Okay, it's this designer drug that I created by hand. It has these vitamins, minerals, and supplements, many of which come from countries that are in some sort of domestic turmoil and are changing names every other day due to civil wars. But what you do is you take 17,000 of them a day. And it activates the electrons, the neurons, the protons in your brain into helping you become the most that you can be. Like, before I started taking them,
Wait, are you trying to fucking say that I'm not the most that I can be?
You're stupid. I mean, no offense.
Wait, this is a very insulting commercial because this is like saying, hey, you suck and your life is shit. Take this drug and maybe you'll be happy. Maybe.
Because it'll make me money, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it'll
point.
make you smarter, in which case you might stop giving me money, so maybe you should not take them.
Oh,
but anyways, okay, you take them, and it puts you in the mindset, I don't want to say of a gorilla, but it puts you in the mindset of a very powerful creature, perhaps an orangutan. Are they more powerful than gorillas?
No. I'm pretty sure gorillas.
Two gorillas then.
Yeah.
Okay, this is two gorilla mindset, nootropics, okay? And what happens is the electricity in your brain, because everybody's brain is powered by electricity and plasmoids, if you will. And so what the drugs do is they supercharge your brain using my patented blend of chemicals, vitamins, as the British say, and various other substances. And for example, my IQ, before I started taking them, 3.
Wow.
My IQ was
that high?
3. Yeah.
That high.
On a good day, it
So
was 3.
it was already then off the charts.
Now, it's twice that.
Shit. So 9.
I don't know.
You said because it's twice.
It's
3.
twice. No, let's just say it's twice that.
3 times 3 is...
I went to, there was a Cash GeoCity site, says, we'll figure out your IQ. I typed in my favorite Disney princess. It says your IQ is twice what it used to be. So it didn't give me the number.
Yeah.
It just says twice what it used to be.
See, I get all of my IQ tests from Geometro sites. Which also gives you your gas per gas
mileage.
That one. And so, like, if your brain wave is higher than your gas mileage, then you're pretty smart. And because I spend so much of my time huffing gas, I have pretty even.
Well, would you like to hear a testimonial from me?
So are you saying Nootropics is better than huffing gas?
I successfully did a crossword puzzle once.
Really?
Yeah.
Can
you say the same?
In Highlights magazine?
I mean, I guess you can't say the same that I did a crossword.
No, I can't.
Did you say the same that you did a crossword puzzle?
One time I crossed the street effectively.
That's puzzling, but not a crossword puzzle.
Wow.
What I'm saying is, monthly, it's going to cost you a few $100s. Few actually meaning 1,000, which is a few, 10, few, hundreds. But the results are going to be amazing. And if you stop taking them, I got to tell you this, you will die.
So wait, if I don't take them, will I die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eventually.
So then I should start taking them.
Let me put you this way. I haven't died once since taking them. Before I used to die all the time.
You had that massive heart attack last week.
I was dead inside, but I didn't die.
But you were dead technically for 3 minutes.
I still can't move my left arm or my left egg. I can't move, the nerves in my face. I don't have them anymore. Control of them. But the thing is, I'm so smart.
That you don't need that other
I'm so smart right now.
Right.
See, ask me what number I'm thinking of.
What number?
Right. See? It's so
good.
easy for me now because I'm the smartest man.
Well, okay, let me ask you this about Nootropics.
All right. 2 gorilla nootropics.
Earlier you said that you had an egg.
Yeah.
Did that egg
My left
hatch?
egg.
Your left egg. Did that hatch under nootropics, or did that remain an egg?
It remained an egg.
Oh boy.
I don't want to.
All right.
Go
So
into-
nootropics is not good for hatching eggs.
No, nests are.
Okay.
You know, like nest being your home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the nootropic double gorilla egg is.
One of the keys to good podcasting, by the way,
I think I can say good posture because I'm
good
sitting
posture.
really well.
That's another podcast you could do is a posture one. We'll get to that
For
in a
my
minute.
sternum.
But one thing that's really important with podcasting is to make sure that the listeners feel like they're on an identifiable team with you.
A team,
Like liberals versus conservatives,
like team internet loser.
Yeah, or team innocent versus guilty, whatever. So it's important for us to establish that with the audience. You're either for us or against us if you're listening to this podcast.
Well, but what do we believe in? Because I believe in nothing.
Then you either believe in something or you believe in nothing if you listen to this podcast.
But now you have to figure out what I believe in.
Well, you just said you believe in nothing. That's like everything.
I believe in everything?
No, you believe in everything because you believe in nothing. So like nothing is everything.
I believe I'm confused.
Because there's nothing you could possibly believe in, so you have to believe in everything in order for nothing to exist in the first place. Nihilism is huge these days with the kids.
Also, 9/11 was an inside job.
9/11 was an inside job. That's true. For instance, those guys broke into the inside of that cockpit and crashed those planes into the insides of those buildings. An inside job, 9/11.
Well, let me tell you something. Those planes didn't even exist. The Twin Towers didn't even exist.
Yeah, no, I believe that. 9/11 actually never happened. Everybody was asleep that day, and it was just a dream we all had.
If you look back at old movies, you can tell the CG of them putting in the Twin Towers. It's all fake.
Yeah, every single movie that takes place in New York before 9/11 where they show a shot of the Twin Towers, that is a model rendering.
Yeah. And you know how people say jet fuel can't melt steel beams? Jet fuel isn't even flammable. I mean, that's the thing about jet fuel. I went down to Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee, by the way, has the greatest prices on local vegetables and poultry right now. If you shop at Hy-Vee, you will save beyond your wildest dreams. That's right, your local neighborhood grocer, Hy-Vee. I went
Speaking
there.
of V, don't go there for ravioli.
No,
Hy-Vee probably has good ravioli, but V sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there, I got jet fuel.
At Hy-Vee?
They gave me weird looks at the time. And I said, don't worry, it's not going to be 9/11 part 2. And that soothed their fears, you know. And so what I did was I took it, I just started splashing all over houses, putting on myself, putting on kids. And I'm like, this is a scientific experiment. Don't worry, you're not going to die. The Jews, you know, they're up to their old tricks. You know, the Jews' old tricks.
Yeah.
Like with the golems and whatnot.
Well, you're Jewish, so...
Yes.
So that's what you meant when you said the Jews are up to their old tricks. So you can just do whatever you want, so long as you preface it with that.
I forgot I was Jewish at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and so I tried lighting it on fire. Guess what? No one burned. No one died.
No one died.
No, I mean, I didn't have matches or anything to start fire, but I tried to light it on fire with the power of my own mind, as in
From
fire
Nootropics.
starter. Yeah, with Nootropics is actually, Double Gorilla Nootropics is actually sponsored by Stephen King, author of Firestarter. And Christine, and let us not forget Maximum Overdrive.
There we go.
And the one where the aliens came out of people's asses. Dreamcatcher. You didn't see that?
I guess I didn't see that one.
Oh,
was
it's
that
great.
a movie? Aliens came out of people's asses?
No, it's a performance play where people shit aliens on stage.
Well, I
no,
thought maybe you're referencing Stephen King, so it could be a book.
He writes books now?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a
Morgan
while.
Freeman's in it. It might be one of the John Cusack ones. I don't remember, but they shit aliens. I swear to God.
I don't believe you. Anyway, so that's another type of
my
podcast
God.
you could do is movie podcasts. Like, for instance, have you seen the new Spider-Man movie?
No.
Oh, okay, me either.
Podcast over.
Podcast over. There you go. See, like things like that. Or music podcasts. Hey, did you hear that song on the radio earlier?
Oh, you want me to sing it for you?
Yeah, sing it.
Okay. We are getting older.
Boulders on our shoulders. And now we're going to go talk to the Chainsmokers about how they wrote that song. Hey, Chainsmoker, how's it going?
Great.
So what were you thinking when you were writing that dolphin rape part?
I wasn't.
You weren't?
I wasn't.
No? You were just on autopilot. You were in the zone.
Yeah, I used autopilot for all my vocal needs.
AutoZone is where you were.
the
In the middle of AutoZone.
Speaking-
Is that where you write your best music? Is
Speaking
at
of
Auto Parts
AutoZone, you
Store?
can get all the lowest prices on windshield wipers and WD-40 and motor oil at AutoZone.
Why would a
AutoZone.
musician be at AutoZone?
I don't want to do the Chainsmoker.
Trying to think of examples of podcasts you never hear. Here's one. You never hear somebody doing a podcast about, hey, this is what's happening in my city. Never hear that. Everybody's like, hey, nationally, here's what the president is. You never hear somebody going like, hey, Mayor Derfelson, I'm pretty sure is raping children behind the goddamn city council's office.
I didn't vote for Mayor. Who's Mayor Derfelson?
Oh, you don't want to get me started on Mayor Derfelson.
But you already started on Mayor Derfelson.
Well, I'm not going to go any
Rapes
further.
kids
So you know what? I don't want to get all that out right now. I'm going to contain that because I said this is an example of a podcast you never hear.
I just did. So you're kind of wrong by definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Did we do topical events? Do we talk about topical events? Because I got this thing. Maybe you didn't hear about this, but Donald Trump.
Oh boy.
This
Here
guy
it comes, folks.
Yeah. We've been working up 40 minutes to get to Donald Trump.
We had 40 minutes. All right.
No, 50. 50 minutes.
We're doing good.
How the fuck long are podcasts supposed to be, by the way?
Actually, I read, and I've discovered this is true with my own the podcast version of my radio show, that 52 minutes, and I'm not making it up because we're at 52, is the perfect amount.
Okay. We got
get this in quick.
1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay. This Donald Trump guy, you may or may not have heard of him. He is the president, I think that's how it's pronounced, of the United States of America. He did this horrible, controversial thing. He posted a GIF. I'm saying GIF, not GIF. Fuck you if you want me to say GIF. It's stupid. I'm saying GIF. An animated
That's
GIF.
the most controversial thing on the podcast so far.
An animated GIF of wrestling where he wrestled a guy with a CNN logo for the head. Right. Can you believe that the president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, Jr. or Senior, whichever one he is, can do something so violent that it's so provocative?
So you're saying the same Donald Trump who said he liked to grab women by the pussy and you can just do it and get away with it. The same
That's nothing compared to posting an animated GIF.
The same Donald Trump who actually participated in WWE events and had a reality show where he fired people in front of his children.
The guy who does something completely stupid and un-American every single day. He posted an animated
GIF. He retweeted a GIF.
He retweeted it.
He didn't make it.
No,
he retweeted it.
Can you imagine seeing Donald Trump trying to figure out how to make an animated GIF?
You know what? It would be like started. It would move 2 frames, and then there would just be writing.
No.
Eric, how do you do this? Eric, come in here.
No, it'd just be like it'd be the first turn. He's like, okay, now fuck it. Slam it all down, and he'd be done with it. That's it. That's the end of my animated GIF.
All right, so that's how you make a podcast.
Okay.
All right.
So now that we didn't say how to make a podcast about how to make a podcast.
Oh, well, we just did it.
Oh, okay. So
Meta.
how do we end a podcast?
The best way to end a podcast is
besides pushing the stop recording button.
If I found that the best way to end the podcast is by doing this. So coming up next week, you guys, you're going to want to stay tuned for this because we have an amazing thing that we can't even tell you about it. The details. Very, very special guest next week. We can't even begin to tell you about the special guest right now because it is so... Okay, his name starts with...
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Wait, is he dead?
His name starts with Kareem... No, he's still alive.
Okay.
His name starts with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but it is not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His name just starts with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Don't say that. That's giving you too many hints.
You're right. So we've got an incredible show coming up, and we're really excited to bring it to you next week. And again, we can't give you too many details, but it is going to blow your socks through your mind.
And your underwear.
There you go. That's how you end the podcast.
Okay, wait, hold on. And we're going to have a special co-host. That's right. Perhaps you've heard of him. Jesus Christ.
Oh, is Jesus going to be here again?
He's going to be
his old tricks.
Yeah, he's going to be telling us all these randy stories that he's got up there in that heaven.
About what he was doing when he was really walking on water. We're going to get to the bottom of that, folks, next week.
Yeah, Jesus, when he was walking on water, he's a little bit high, if you catch my drift. Marijuana.
Sea of Galilee.
Man, jokes can be funny. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
And this is the best way to end a podcast. Is the most protracted way where you don't ever have an ending.
Oh,
and
so
eventually you just cut it off in mid-sentence.
Okay, so
you should probably do that when you edit this later. Just
cut
me off.